Good afternoon, Standard 8 students. Now, today I am going to compile all the three stanzas of Ode to Autumn. Okay. Now, each stanza consists of 11 lines, and the entire poetry has been divided into three parts. So, the first stanza is dealing with productivity, bountifulness, abundance. Okay. So, here the season of autumn has been personified as a woman. Okay. But the poet also compares the season of autumn to the seasons of mist, means, and mellow fruitfulness, means the season of productivity, the season of abundance, the season of plentiful, and the season of bounty. Okay. So, here the poet has already personified the season of autumn to a woman who is a close friend to the maturing sun. Bosom friend means a close, a near and dear friend of the sun. Together, they blend together, means they are working together, the season of autumn and the sun. Okay. Together, how do they excel? What work they are doing now? So here it says, conspiring with him how to load and bless with fruit the vines that round the thatch heaves run. So now they are planning how to develop or how to increase the yield of the creeper plants, the fruits that grow on creepers. You have watermelon, then you have pumpkins, you have gourds, you have grapes. So there are many fruits that grow on creepers, and there are many vegetables also grow on creepers. Now, creepers are plants that they need a support. Either they climb onto walls or they climb and they grow, especially on these thatched roofs, where the fruit is grown or is yielded over there. And then it also helps the apples to grow in plentiful. There's so much of apples that are grown in this particular season that the weight of the apples make the branches to bend. So the autumn season means prosperity, development, productivity. What do they do for all this? They ripen the fruits. They help the fruit which is inside a shell to sweeten up. So all the factors that are used for prosperity, you could say, or for the ripening of the fruits, the season is very bountiful, beautiful, flamboyant. Okay. And according to the poet, he says the warm sun, the warmth from the sun, is so useful. It helps the buds to bloom into beautiful flowers. Okay. And with the flowers blooming, it attracts the bees. And the bees come and they suck the nectar. And they wish that the summer season should not come to an end. It should go on and on and on. Like when we are having a good time at a party. So we don't want the party to come to an end. We just want to enjoy and let it carry on as much. o- Okay. And then what happens? These bees, when they go, they suck the nectar. What happens? They comb the hives. They are filled with honey to a great excess. So that is why he says over here the clammy cells. Clammy means damp. It is soaking with honey. So the autumn season ripens the fruits. First, it helps the fruit and vegetables to grow in plentiful. The next work they do is they ripen it. Okay. And then it talks about the advantage of the sun helps the buds to bloom into beautiful flowers which attract the bees. The bees come, they suck the nectar, and then there's plentiful of honey. It is overflowing. So this is the work of the autumn season first. A season of productivity, abundance, and all that. The next stanza is dealing with what activity is seen during the autumn season. Now we spoke about a good harvest. We spoke about everything growing in plentiful. So now he asks a question. Who had not seen thee off amid thy store? Okay. Now this is a question asked by the poet. Now you must learn this. Whenever you are going to quote what someone else has spoken, so his spoken words has to be quoted. So now I'm going to teach you this part. Now this question, who had not seen thee oft amid thy store, has been said by the poet. Now I am going to repeat it. Okay. But now there is a formality which is always speakers, those who give speeches, and when they quote another person's words. So, this is the etiquette they have to use. Now, I am quoting another person's words. So, I will say either open quote or quote. I quote, who had not seen thee off amid thy store, unquote. Means those spoken words have been spoken and now it is over. So either at the beginning we will say, before we could speak, we could say open quote, and at the end say close quote. Or quote or unquote. Okay, remember this. So whenever you are giving a public speech, so these are the formalities that have to be maintained, especially when you are quoting some great personalities' words. Then you have to use this. Okay, keep this in mind. Sometimes whoever seeks abroad may find. Now, anyone who comes from outside, say from the town or from the city, if they come to the countryside, now what activities do they see? Do they observe? They find a heap of grain and a young girl sitting carelessly extracting the grains from the chaff and the husk. And the wind is blowing and her hair is flying. A soft wind is making her hair to fly. So, according to the poet, the process of extracting the chaff or the grain from the chaff and husk is called winnowing. Okay. So you could picturize a girl whose hair is flying and a heap of grain that has to be extracted from the chaff and husk. This is one activity that you will notice in the farms or in the countryside. Or on a half reap furrow, sound asleep. The next activity that you will notice is that they are reapers. There are certain farmers who are, or girls, they go and they cut the corn or the crop and they tie them up in bundles. And there are certain farmers who are indulged in plowing. Okay. So when they are out in the field performing this activity, what happens at the side, poppy plants are grown. And the flowers from the poppy plant emits or gives out some smell. Okay. That smell is very intoxicating. It makes these people drowsy. So you'll find these farmers half asleep because they are getting intoxicated by the smell of the poppy flowers. Now remember, opium, a drug, an intoxicating drug, is extracted from these poppy flowers. That is the reason why these farmers who are performing this duty of cutting and reaping and plowing and all that, half the work is done. Half the time they are found asleep. Now, when the bundles are tied, I mean, when the crop is cut and tied into bundles, okay, they, the farmers, what they do? They put them like a row, okay, and then they have to be carried on upon their head and they have to balance themselves, especially when they have to cross a small stream. And then what happens? They go to the market or to the factory for further marketing or processing. The next activity is seen where the woman is near a cider press, waiting patiently for the extraction of the juice from the apples. It takes hours and hours, and what it means, as long as the autumn season is there, the extraction of the juice from the apples are taken out. Till the end, till the last drop of the apple juice. What it means, as if the autumn season is come to an end. So these are the activities that are found in the autumn season. So the poet personifies them as a winnower, as a gleaner, as a patient person, as a woman who is taking the apples to the cider press and all that. But these are the activities that are usually noticed when one is explaining about what is the autumn season all about. Then the third, last stanza is dealing with sound, where again I quote, "Where are the songs of spring? Where are they?" Unquote. Now these are the words spoken by the poet. Okay. And He is asking, where is your music? Everything is full and plenty, and every work is being done accordingly. So I'll bring this to an end. It has already exceeded time. In the next class, I'll try to explain the third stanza nicely. Okay, thank you.